One thing I can guarantee you about New York City is that it's 150% DTF. Rain or shine, New York is always ready to grind. That's one thing I'm learning. Yo, you guys, in New York, you can have as much as you want. This is a city that expects you to bite off more than you could chew. There's just so much here that it offers. It's absolutely willing to give you everything you want. And there's people everywhere willing to sell themselves to get you off, rain or shine. Now it's springtime in the city, and I'm sure, you know what, that's affected my mood, and I'm sure it's affected the mood of all the people around me, because it's spring, and you know, everyone loves spring because, you know, that's when things like come into bloom. Now I've been here for 4 days and 4 nights, and day in and day out, I'm realizing more and more that this city isn't for everyone. It's not that everyone can't live here, but not everyone understands what this place is about. I think a lot of people move here and think that they belong in New York, but then as soon as you go uptown, you realize that maybe you belong downtown. And there's a difference here. Don't sell yourself short, or sell yourself short. Either way, you gotta understand the dynamics of what's actually happening. You see, if you don't understand your own value before you come to New York, New York is the type of city that defines that for you. So the city itself has actually helped I was thinking I was gonna come here and redefine myself, but it's actually vice versa. Over the last 4 days, I've realized I'm overqualified. I can't see myself staying here unless I had a good reason. A good reason to stay in New York would be to meet people who have been here longer and have established themselves in a really massive community, unlike the community where I'm from. What I'm trying to say, established creators in New York are able to tap into a much larger community than I'm able to tap into just personally on an individual scale back in Canada. That doesn't mean I'm not as good as the creators here in New York. If I had more time, I don't think actually, I'm 100% aware that I would crush it here in New York. This community is bigger, but it's not limitless. I would break through and do the same thing that I did in Edmonton right here in the Big Apple without a problem. Now, just because it's the Big Apple doesn't mean that the people here are better artists or are able to express themselves better. I believe that this community is just, this is a tiny little island. It's something that anyone can conquer if they had the heart. It's the scale, and because of the amount of people here, it's a little bit difficult because, man, it makes it like pricey just to sleep a night. It's easy to stick out of the crowd, and it's easy to be different anywhere, especially if you are unique, because that's the rarity. And even in New York, there isn't that many rare people. They're all kind of the same, just like they are everywhere else. Yeah, they're all taking the same photos back there. You could make it in New York as long as you weren't like everybody in New York, because that's what New York is asking you to do. If you have the same skill sets as everyone else, who the f cares about you? Because New York offers a smorgasbord of all these little palettes and all these little talents, and it lets you check them out. And if you belong next to someone on one of those palettes and you're not better than them, then, well, you know your answer. You know if you're gonna be here or not. It does test you, but you can also choose to be something different. What is New York missing now? Well, after walking probably about like, what I feel like, well, from one side of the island to the next, in all directions, at least, I don't know how many kilometers, and especially after walking from uptown to downtown, New York is definitely missing a certain component. Now, it's got grit, it's got charm, and it's got a ton of people. There's certain specific bits that it's not just New York, but what this whole country is missing. The city needs to let go of certain behaviors. The city needs to stop valuing a certain culture. Because America, you got heart, but you're also getting greedy. There's so much we could do to change this world, and there's so many ways to influence the future. But like I said, after walking from uptown to downtown, there's a huge difference in the way people perceive people. In uptown, you need a lot more downtown. And you can do it, and that's why I'm making this video. Look at this place. It's epic. And it doesn't belong to the rich people. Nothing belongs to rich people. This actually belongs to young people and the people that are going to be here in 10 years, 20 years, and 30 years from now. And this place is becoming less and less relevant as the world begins to change and get smaller with technology. So it's interesting to see how we continue to invest in the big buildings and not the future. So we should actually find a way to persuade the young people to believe in themselves and not money. If you think you're gonna make it uptown and you can't come there from downtown, you're wrong. Uptown needs downtown because it's fueled by downtown. And you know what? New York City is DTF. It wants to change. You know why? Because it's nature. And if it doesn't, it won't look like that forever. It'll just get smaller and smaller as somewhere else gets bigger and bigger. And watch. This thing's beautiful. This is where to be. But young people, don't invest in the money. Invest in your soul. Take over the world. Being creative is what's really going to separate the rest. Because creativity trumps that place. So, let's grow. Go into the sunset. Let's get something to eat. It's like I can lighten my mood a bit. Okay, guys? Peace. DTF. New York is DTF.